Interesting.
Sound that put him in line. Say, oh wait, yeah.
Because you saw this coming. Yeah. They were going to be stalemated, or were they already stalemated at this point?
See, all right, let's see if you guys can see this.
I was maximally on every single podcast, basically saying this is what needs to be talked about. And because I got retweeted by several times, General Flynn, Sidney Powell, like big accounts.
Of course, yeah.
So now everybody's kind of paying attention.
So I noticed that.
Yeah. So until they suspended it, but that's later.
Twitch
January
suspended.
8th.
Before Elon bought it, right?
Yeah. Hold on. We'll get there.
Okay.
Guys, I finally saw one. I saw one of those goddamn bleep lorps up there. What's up, guys? This is a late night one. I'm kind of sleepy, but I know if I don't do it now, I'll probably never do it. Let's get rid of the Indian man. He's helpful. Hope everyone is well. I'm live on YouTube. Finally, my strikes have been lifted. They were lifted a while ago. I just wasn't able to get a video out at that time. Hope everyone's good. I posted this up on Instagram. Where else? On X as well. We're gonna get started in just a moment. I'm gonna treat this like, I don't know, hopefully this video gets seen by other people. Like if anyone else saw what I saw, that's kind of what I'm hoping for. So this is gonna be casual, but I am gonna make a point to describe it in a way that's accessible to people that, I don't know, are local, live in the area, might have seen something that same night. Let me just get everything situated. I appreciate everybody for stopping by. Hope everyone's been well. Hit the link tree in the bio and please like, share, and subscribe. Hit the thumbs up. That actually helps me, gives me an algorithmic boost. And follow me on the alt platforms, BitChute, Rokfin, the works. Most importantly, I'm trying to push my Substack account. I'll show you that here. Where are you at? I just posted another story today, actually. There we are. Sorry, I'm rusty. It's been a while. Get that thumbnail out of the way. Damn, man, I'm so rusty. I'm sorry, guys. Yeah, so follow me on Substack, memoryhold.substack.com. I have the full text of my UFO encounter, UFO experience laid out, pretty detailed. It's made up of all the notes. Did I make this public? Yeah, it's made up of all the notes I took like right after the sighting. You know what I mean? Because I tried to do that to purposely avoid, you know, the chance of my memory getting fucked up over time. If you have the app on mobile, like on iPhone, the Substack app, you can just listen to it like an audiobook, you know, if you prefer to do it that way. Anyway, guys, I saw a fucking UFO and I can't even believe it. It was the craziest thing that I think that I undoubtedly have ever seen in my life. Hands down, like it's not even debatable what it was in terms of being man-made. I'm not saying it wasn't man-made, but what I saw was just so freakishly um, otherworldly that there's really just no other way to describe it. So I guess I'll just go ahead and fucking rant about it to you real quick so at least it gets put up on YouTube and hopefully somebody finds this. But yeah, I don't have any visuals to show. You know, I'm just gonna spin this off the top of my head. Like I said, you can read along on Substack if you want, but basically how it happened was August, what was it, 15th, just last month. It was just after midnight. It had been raining, you know, the previous week or so. And I try and, you know, take frequent walks. I take one at least daily. You know, there's some pretty nice trails around my area, you know, some more uh, uh, within town, some more rural, so to speak, separate from town. Really good for stargazing, but for lazy stargazing like this night, you know, it's not, I don't have to travel far to get there, and it's a path that sort of weaves in and out of a suburban neighborhood, okay? Um, it's not in the center of like a major town or city. It's on the outskirts. So basically, you know, it's not the greatest patch of sky in the world, but for its location, you know, it could be a lot worse. And I have seen a lot of great stuff, satellites, shooting stars, meteor showers. Like, you know, I have a pretty good view for being, you know, in the area I am in southern New York. And this particular trail, it's just an added benefit, you know, being able to watch the stars as I walk and listen to music or go for a run or whatever, right? So anyway, it's winding through, and basically the trail is like one big capital U. There's a big bend coming up. Okay, I'm approaching a big bend, and I guess I'll explain the kind of like the physical environment around me. Just envision like being on a path that's straight ahead of you, right? There's a big build, like you could see unimpeded straight ahead of you, the entire sky above you, to your left, suburban middle class homes on an incline. Behind the homes, tree line. Okay, the tree juts upward above the roof from my perspective on the trail looking left. Okay, I'm going to refer to that as my 9 o'clock position. Everything here happens between my 12 o'clock position looking straight ahead on the path and my 9 o'clock position looking to my left, because this thing, whatever the fuck it was, this weird thing, I don't know, it flew basically directly over me, but was pulling a banking maneuver directly over me. Okay, so from my 12 o'clock, slightly over me, and then to my 9 o'clock, I had to pivot my body. It was moving so fast. It was one of those where I literally had to go like that. This wasn't high up in the sky. This wasn't like distant lights in the sky. This was like close, pretty close to, like scarily close to the ground, which is like a sensation I didn't really expect feeling. Like not pure fear, but like, oh my God, like there's nobody out here and some shit's about to seriously go down. This is crazy. It's not like it was right above the tree lines, but it's one of those things you had to be there when you see something that large approaching you. Like, I guess the best way to describe the size was hold a dime at arm's length. And I saw three of those in a perfect isosceles triangle, like coming at me fast, and changing angle. Like, I don't fucking know, dude, what it was doing. At first, I thought it was like, well, I guess I'll get to that. And it flew right over me, is my point. Dead silent, crystal clear sky, no clouds. I'm not talking about light cloud coverage, I'm saying zero clouds. It was the moon. I don't know if it was a full moon, but it was pretty full. So it was very bright, brighter than usual. And that actually did have an effect on my ability to see the stars, but not terribly detrimental. Like basically, it didn't result in much. It was just it rendered some stars that I'm usually able to see with ease a little more difficult to see. That's it. But again, right above me, dark. I can, even if I look carefully, like see a light wisp that is the Milky Way, right? If you look very carefully, you can see that depending on where you are, whatever, and what time you're looking, and what do you have. Binoculars make it easier, and so on. So where did I leave? Okay, I'm coming out the bend. Okay, yeah, I'm walking straight. On my right, there's a wide open, empty parking lot. Okay, the right side of me doesn't matter. No trees impede my vision on my right. Okay, now on my left, that tree line, those houses on the incline, they just are in rows, right? They're one after the other after the other. If I look up to my left and to my side, you can see a little bit of light pollution over the tree line. And if I look straight ahead, all the way out to the horizon, which I can see very far, unimpeded, not at elevation. And by very far, I'm not talking about going hiking here, guys. Like, you know what I mean? You hit a store or the back of like an outlet mall or something eventually, which is exactly what happened. Like, way ahead of me was a gas station that was blocking the horizon, okay, and an on-ramp to a highway. But I can still see way off in the distance, good patch of dark sky, right up until that red, gloomy, creepy red haze of the light pollution. I had a good view. That's my point. This is all boring. Get to the point. Get to the point. But dude, this actually matters. It's a big deal. Like I try to hit all the data points that you need to collect when you see something like this. Okay, because it's not just like size, description, shape, whatever. So I guess I'll continue here. Now I'm walking and I've got my eyes glued to the sky. I want to remind you guys, like, I'm pretty thorough, right? I'm pretty good at identifying things in the sky. I'm not a trained observer. I'm not a pilot, but I'm also not like a very casual when it comes to this. I mean, I guess I'm casual. I don't have a crazy telescope setup. I don't have every constellation memorized, but dude, pretty much every night I watch the sky for like a good chunk of time, right? Sometimes like up to an hour. Obviously, I have the luxury of having that time just due to current circumstances, uh, incredibly fucking awesome circumstances. You know what I'm saying? So I look at the sky and I go on a walk and shit, and you see things. I know what satellites look like. I see them all the time. I see ISS as it passes over the International Space Station. We get alerts. I get alerts on my phone when the ISS flies over. I've actually had the pleasure of seeing Elon Musk's or whatever Starlink twice. And Jesus Christ, that thing is freaky. If you saw it from the side, you would think it's an alien mothership. I'm not kidding you. In fact, I got a frantic call from my best friend one day who knows how crazy I am about UFOs, how into the subject I am. And I told him, I said, anything anomalous you see, you call me right away if you can. And he called me just in a tizzy about this, and I knew right away it was Starlink. And he was very lucky to see it. It's pretty cool to see, no matter what you think about it. So I've seen that twice, okay? I've seen space junk that are not satellites but appear exactly like satellites, but it's actually just debris from a Chinese rocket that came detached after its booster phase or thruster phase or whatever. There's a lot of stuff in the sky. I've seen meteors split up into three pieces, meteors that lit up the ground around me. I've seen planes, fighter jets, biplanes, stunt planes. I've seen helicopters following small planes, and I've seen unexplained things in the sky. But nothing that was shocking. Nothing that made me do anything more than just, what? I wonder what that was. Like, which doesn't make it any less important because I've seen some things where I'm trying to think like what moves that fast, what behaves that way. Like that's pretty crazy. Like that's not a natural phenomenon. But it wasn't shocking. It was lights in the sky that inevitably you can just dull down, and dull down with uh, uh, objectivity until eventually you get to the point where it must have been a satellite, it must have been a this, it must have been a that, which isn't a bad thing if it's accurate and you're not deluding yourself, because sometimes strange things are just that. What I saw was shocking. Like it wasn't ambiguous. I don't know what it was, but it wasn't in the distance. It wasn't, oh wow, boy, wait, is that a plane? It was an immediate, what the fuck is that? It was as if you're on a hike and you're scanning the tree line and you lock eyes with a bobcat, that feeling, except minus the fear, but keep the excitement. An immediate recognition as if like the entire genetic lineage of your species as a whole has the feeling to fucking run when they lock eyes with that fucking bobcat. I don't know what that thing is. It's actually kind of cute, but I gotta run. Like your body is telling you that. Fight or flight. You freeze or you run. Now, I don't want to like overplay it here. I wasn't scared or fearful, but what I was saying, like I literally was stopped in my tracks. It stopped me in my tracks. It was shocking, and it was actually like a pretty unsettling, like way more than I thought it would be for somebody that's loved this stuff for so long. I'm looking down at my phone for a split second. I've got headphones on these, and I need to change the song. I'm looking down at my phone, and just as I switch the song, a flash in the sky catches my attention in my peripheral vision. The flash's luminosity, its brightness, uh, was probably slightly brighter than that of like a fairly close blinking pattern of a normal commercial airliner that you'd see. I Some are brighter than others. Picture the any luminosity on the brighter end of like an airplane's lights, okay? Like pretty bright. Sometimes when a plane is going in for landing and is like coming directly at you, the lights sort of converge and they get really bright. It's like not an optical illusion, but it's a perspective thing. Like bright like that. So naturally, I subconsciously, like I just immediately avert my gaze and I look upward away from my phone and I see it. Like it's just suddenly there. And I'm gonna interchangeably, you'll hear me interchangeably refer to it as it and also they, as if they're separate. The importance there is the fact that I saw three separate lights, perfect circles, orbs, very low, triangle formation, sort of like the thumbnail. Here. Here? Yeah, here. It sort of looked like that, actually. That's pretty close to it. Except minus like the hazy light, it was very contained. They were like pinpoints in the sky, the size of dimes, flying at me and then aside, and then they turned away. So I saw them coming at me, and I saw them in formation from the side as they flew. Okay? If I remember, I'll demonstrate that. And that's important because that's how I realized it wasn't a structured craft. But anyway, when I see it, I immediately recognized it as something extremely unusual and anomalous. This wasn't like, holy fuck, what type of plane is that? This was immediately, we skipped that. We skipped that. We just fucking immediately skipped that because it was no plane. My next thought, holy fuck, I can't believe it. I'm seeing the classic black triangle, right? I'm seeing the classic black triangle from classical UFO lore. Except I started looking for the red dot in the center. Did it have a red dot? You know, I'm looking for all the hallmark signs. Like, what am I seeing here? And this thing, by the way, is moving fast. It's not blinking. It's not changing colors. Weird feedback in my headphones. Sorry. It's really weird. Sorry about that. I guess it's them. They're back. Oh my god, it's probably hovering above my house. Where did I leave off there? Maybe it's music. Is it music? It's fucking music. Music has been playing that whole time. I knew it. I don't know if you guys have really heard that. That's crazy, though. I don't think it was high enough in volume. Was that high enough in volume? Imagine that's all fucked up. That would make sense. I'm tired enough for that to happen. I don't mind retelling the story, though. If I have to redo it tomorrow, I'll do that. I don't mind. Sorry about that, guys. It's probably loud. Shit. What do you think? Was it? No, the volume's very low. I don't think you guys could hear it. Let me not make a big fuss about it. Okay, this thing was moving fast. I look up. Okay, yeah, that's right. I look up. Perfect triangle. Orb on the top, two orbs on the bottom. But it was like tight. But like it's hard to explain. It was nearly perfect. Okay, coming at me, but like turning past me. Okay. So I'm like, holy fuck, black triangle. I can't believe it. Where's the red light? Okay, where's the set? Where's all this stuff? And then I realized, wait, there is no red light. Wait a second. I'm not. The red light is typically on, like, you know, supposedly on the belly, right, of the triangle. Okay. So the lights, if it was actually coming at me like that thing is coming at me right now that I'm looking at, it wouldn't look like an isosceles triangle with one light here and two lights here, coming like this. That would be flattened, right? I'd still see three lights, but in a tighter formation that gradually expands as it flies over. Does that make sense, perspective-wise? Because I would be closer to seeing the underbelly as it flies over. The underbelly is where the three lights, two on the bottom and one at the top, are fixed to. So that mind fucked me. Because what was I seeing? Am I seeing a structured craft that's on its fucking belly flying at me? Like, what is going on here? And then I looked at it and I'm like, wait, okay, that isn't a structured craft at all. That isn't a triangle. I mean, it's in a triangle formation, but those are fucking orbs. Like, those are straight up, like, flame-like orbs, but they weren't flame-like. It's hard to explain, man. That's the craziest part about this. And the way it was moving so fucking fast. This entire sighting, guys, lasted 2 seconds. And I know it sounds crazy that I can expound on it that's much, but what I'm describing to you is the weird, like, subconscious thoughts, the checklist, you know, that racing thought process that I went through in 2 seconds because it was so crazy. It was a lot, right? It was a lot. Uh, I was incredibly excited, right? And almost not panicking, but I'm like, holy fuck, holy fuck. I knew the importance of what I was seeing. So the moment I lost track of it and I was sure it was gone, I made sure to write everything down, knowing that at that point forward, these details decay. That's it. That's how it goes. You think you remember stuff. You don't. You don't. You're misremembering the fact that you're accurately remembering something. Trust me. Like, write stuff down, keep a journal. That's why I do it. It's kind of nice. So that's how I'm able to expound on all this. I realize, okay, it's three individual orbs, but the way it was gliding across the sky was closer to the way, like, that's the thing I want to drive home to you guys. Two main points. Even though at this point it was just gliding, it not in a straight line, it was doing that weird curve, you know, where the spot in the sky directly above me was like the apex of that curve. If you picture a U, a plane doing a U, but like an extended U, a gentle U, right? I would be at the apex of that turn, right? I would be at that. I can't do this. I'm not coordinated. You know, at the apex of that turn, right? That's what I'm trying to say. So that's how I got to see the depth of these things because it fucking flew past me. I got to see the front of the plane, the side of it, and the rear of it. Okay, is what I'm trying to say. Okay, this isn't a triangle. This isn't an airplane. What the fuck am I looking at? The two main points, the very nature of this thing, or these lights, was so unnatural, so uncharacteristic, like just not, it was as if you were showing me something that doesn't come from this reality, that cannot be made here or whatever, uh, for the first time. Like, it sounds crazy. We all seen lights. Think of every light that you've seen in the whole world, okay? Ranging from the one back there that fades gently to a ceiling fan light to one of those TikTok round lights that I'm actually using right now, believe it or not, to a lamp at the side of a bed on a nightstand, okay? Or the ones affixed to aircrafts, really powerful one. Those halogen lights on the big trucks and stuff, right? Specialized lights, emergency lights, lights for all sorts of inclement weather, lights used for military navigation on ships and vessels. None of those, though all those share a common quality. You look at those lights and you know, okay, yeah, I mean, that's, you never look at them and say, what the fuck is that? You say, I wonder why it's so bright. I wonder what it's attached to. Is that on a building? Like, what type of building is that? I wonder what it's for. You get what I'm saying? Because some of them are so bright, so specialized, you have to imagine, like blinking planes. They're blinking for a reason. I wonder why. You know, so you know it's a man-made reason we set them up to blink in a certain pattern. Guidelines, FAA, like regulations, right? And so it's the very essence of these things were not that. It was like I was looking at lights that were like previously not able to be seen on the visible spectrum or something. Like I suddenly was able to see X-rays or something. Like they were simultaneously weightless and they flew fast and more like what it looks like if you watch a spotlight from shining up to the bottom of a cloud deck, you know, in those circles and how it glides across the sky in those circles. Now, I don't mean in the way it moves like in circles. What I'm saying is envision this thing gliding across the sky fast. Like I had like literally the sighting was this. That's it. That all of this was that physical movement I just did. Looking at my phone, I see a bright flash. What the fuck? Holy fuck! What? Gone. That's it. That's my whole sighting. But in those moments, I saw something so fantastic and so incredible that it's not even debatable what it was that I saw. I know that it was just something by default amazing to the point where it was akin to magic, as they say, right? Like it was something unrecognizable. You know, it couldn't be anything other than magic. I'm not saying it was or was not man-made. I'm saying that whatever it was, if it was man-made, we are so far beyond anything. Like I can't even believe it, man. I really can't. Like it went from the theoretical realm to like the real realm, you know, and it's like doesn't it's like exciting, but like holy like what the fuck, you know, they really are up there. That's crazy. That's really crazy. I mean that changes everything, you know? What you could confidently say or know for certain. I mean that changes the history of the last century, right? You have to start looking at like JFK's assassination and start wondering, like, I wonder if the existential otherworldly threat had any role in that, right? You get what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying he did or didn't. I'm just it's a genuine threat. Okay, whether you like it or not, whether it's seeped in psyops and disinformation, whether it's blue bean nonsense, whatever it is, they're teeing up the aerial phenomenon to be like a major player in the shuffling of the geopolitical, you know, deck. Okay, chessboard. I know this because the reports say this. I know this because NORAD is writing reports literally saying we shot down 5 unidentified anomalous vehicles out of the sky. No, you can't know what they are. No, we don't know what they are. Like, that's crazy. Congressional hearings under oath. Like, if you can't see that something is happening there, whatever it is, real, fake, illusion, psyop, does it, whatever, then you gotta be blind. I think you're doing yourself a disservice. And now I know that for certain. Like, I'm never doubting myself about that phenomenon again, whether I'm wasting time, whether it's real, whether it's just all trickery cooked up by the usual suspects. Dude, there's something up there for fucking sure. There's some shenanigans, some major riffraff, possibly Goldman Sachs riffraff happening up there, private pizza delivery saucers, God knows what. Okay? We got to take the AA guns to them, EMP charge them, bring them down. Okay? I'm fucking around. But seriously, this thing is flying past me. It looked more like a spotlight. The very essence of the light was unlike anything I ever seen before. It didn't look real. It looked animated. That's the best way I can describe it. It looked animated. It looked like it was CGI. and it looked like it was a projection, okay? And then the way it went across the clouds, it looked like a spotlight, weightless, as if it was weightless. You look at the spotlight, you don't misidentify it as the lights of a plane just above the cloud deck that you can't really see because of the clouds, and the light is projected. It's not that, you know that it's a spotlight because it moves so, flicking across the sky, right? Kind of playfully. That's how these moved, man. Like, perfect. None of them wavered from their position. The orbs, like, glided effortlessly, weightlessly, as if friction wasn't a thing, as if there was no resistance. Like, I don't know how, I'm going to say that a million times, I'm sorry, because there is no words to describe it. It feels like a mushroom trip, describing a mushroom trip, or even better, a DMG trip. How many messages have you carried back, okay, when you cross that threshold and you have to return home, right? How many messages have you been successfully able to bring back? Tell me. And if it's a lot, like, tell me how, because that would be cool. It's hard to do that, right? But I'm gonna distract myself here because it throws me off course, man. Like, it's like it actually impacted me in a pretty profound way, and I'll get to the point why. For those of you that have patience or whatever and like listening to this, you'll get it, man. Maybe I'll edit this down into like a better video to condense the sighting. My intention here is to chill out, comfy sesh. I'll engage with you guys in the chat in a little bit, but I need to get this out. So I looked at it and I was like, those are lights, but what the fuck, but still, what is that? Like, are they just lights? Like, they didn't feel real. They felt like it was an Unreal Engine demonstration. Like, I think it was Uncanny Valley. Like, they looked like lights. They were moving super fast, like scarily fast, but technically not faster than a fighter jet can move, or a plane, maybe 3 planes in formation, right? But just the nature, its very fucking essence, it didn't belong here, wasn't from here, wasn't from my neighborhood. Simple as that. Hey kid, you don't belong here, I don't recognize you. I don't recognize that. Sometimes I could say, oh wow, fuck, that's a plane I never seen before. Holy shit, I never seen a meteor do that. I think it was a meteor. I mean, what else could it be? I don't know what that is. It's zigzagging around. Probably a drone. 80% confident. Okay, that's easy. This immediate reaction, totally whatever. I can look at a plane. I can look at a fighter jet. There's similarities. There's differences. One moves fast. One doesn't. One breaks the sound barrier. Shatters glass beneath it when it does that. What the other doesn't. One can barrel roll with fucking ease. The other can't unless you're the king. Okay, Sky King. But they both look as if they're restricted by friction as they fly through the air. They look heavy, right? They look heavy. You see a plane taking off, it's heavy. It's like sinking as it's floating up. But more importantly, not floating, being propelled upward. Propulsion. This dude was like a reflection that was simultaneously ethereal, weightless, and physical at the same time, okay? And it was flying directly above me. So now I'm going to pull up something here to demonstrate. Give me a moment. I thought I had it up. Going over to Substack once again, guys. Substack, I think it's, what is it? Substack.memoryhold.com. Shoobity doobity. Subscribe to the dude, please. Shoobity doobity. Remember, I'm a rational mind in the cognitive battle space, okay? Just like the thumbnail says. You can take that to the bank. You can take that to the school, to your kid's school. Where is it? There's a video here of airplanes, but it demonstrates the exact angle I saw these crafts at, and it's important to establish this so you guys kind of like understand like the angle I was seeing this all unfold at. All right, I got the video. Thank you for your patience. Let's get through this ad. We can do it together. We can get through this ad together. Okay, but you gotta hold tight. All right. I don't know about the validity of these UFOs. I don't want to say it's a classic, but it's been around, and people refer to it as being pretty credible, but there's lots of valid arguments for these being like a specialized stunt plane flying in formation. I've seen it both ways. I heard it both ways, B. Know what I'm saying? But here's the angle. Imagine, make sure I got the screen up here. Yeah, okay. So this isn't perfect, okay? And I wasn't standing exactly this. Imagine this a similar angle to these planes, me standing on the ground watching these orbs fly past me, except from the other direction. They weren't passing on my right, they were passing to my left. So.
In this video,
Okay, so as you can see, like his vantage point, it isn't perfect for what I'm trying to demonstrate, but it's good enough. As you can see at the beginning, they're approaching fairly head on. So you can see only, or mostly, the front end of the craft, right? And just ignore the lighting arrangement there. I'm not talking about anything like that. I'm merely talking about my perspective and vantage point, right? And what happened was it did basically this. It did that gradual, not extremely tight, sort of gentle U-turn. I was at the apex of that turn. So it was turning sort of above me. It was making its most dramatic banking maneuver directly above me, not off to the side, but like pretty much directly above me. So there was a split second, guys. This is what I'm trying to say, where I got to see the formation, the depth of these crafts, and confirm, later rest permanently, that it wasn't a structured craft that I couldn't see. It was 3 separate orbs flying in perfect formation because it flew past me like this, and I could see the space in between 2 of them. Like right here. Right here. Instead of these planes, you see how none of these planes overlap with each other? This one kind of does. You see how the tail is technically in front of, like obscuring the nose of this plane here from your perspective? That's what I saw. 2 orbs passing next to each other for a split second because of this angle change, or a similar one. Okay, so I conferred at that point it's not a structured craft. I'm like, dude, what the, this is legitimately crazy. I can't believe it. Then I realized, holy shit, is it making noise? I had headphones on. I was in shock this whole time. So what I ended up doing was I ripped my headphones off without taking my eyes off the sky. I'm like, I probably looked absolutely ridiculous, schizophrenic. I was having a meltdown as far as anyone looking at me from afar was concerned. I'm looking up there. I was looking in people's windows for all he knew. You know what I'm saying? Immediate 911 call. I wouldn't even blame him. But in that moment, I ripped off the fucking headphones. I looked up, and in that moment, it was at its apex of the turn. No sound. Dead silent. Nothing. Nothing but the comfy ass, end of summer bugs. The chirps, the cricketies, things like that. No disrupted animals. No barking dogs, no disruption to electricity or lights in my vicinity. It sounds ridiculous if you have no idea what I'm talking about or aren't into UFOs, but whatever. It's not. That's a common trait. My phone didn't like lose power, you know what I'm saying? I didn't see cars breaking down on the side of the road over like beneath the path of this craft. So no sound. Dead quiet. Not a whistle, not a hum, not a bass rumble. Nothing. And as I'm looking up at these things, the lights have depth. But even weirder, they have fog around them. There's fog. Each of the orbs are enveloped like in a pocket of transparent, wispy, hazy fog, mist. Like what it looked like. This is so fucking hard to explain, man. But imagine if there is, have you ever seen a commercial airliner at night? Or no, whenever, it's fairly low, okay? Fly through a very light layer of clouds, but the clouds are varying degrees of thickness, right? So he'll fly into the dark gray clouds. Those are thicker. So for a moment, you can only see the wingtip sticking out. You can see the blinking light, but you can't see the body, okay? And then it flies, and then it comes out for a moment. Now you can't see the front, but you can see the body, okay? But not the wing. When it's blinking, if it's at night, maybe since you don't see the wing, you just see a little circular blip, blip, of the light blinking and illuminating the clouds, the haze, the mist around it as it flies. You get what I'm saying? Listen, I'm not a poet, okay? I think it should be clear enough though. All right. Maybe not if you don't like look at the sky a lot or live in a area with lots of planes and air traffic flying over you. But that's how it goes. It looked like that. But now envision if the clouds were invisible everywhere except in front of the lights, in front of the orbs. Does that make sense? So like, oh hey, I got an idea. Listen, I'm a genius. I think it'll work. Hold on. Kid, where's my vape? Yo, I need my vape. Yo, dude, I gotta get him my vape. Dude, I need this. I'm fiending. I got the constellations on it. There's a UFO. Want to see? That's Sagittarius, dude. The vape, that's nicotine Sagittarius power. Let me try and demonstrate. You see that? Nicotine Sagittarius power aerosolized. All right. So envision, ordinarily, you would see all the haze and fog around you. If you blow a big enough puff cloud, know what I mean? But you can see how it illuminates momentarily. I can't get it to hang in the sky without dying. Okay, I'm not, listen, I love you guys, but I gotta look out for me and my health. But you get what I'm saying. You can really see it illuminated here. But envision it being so active, so misty, so foggy. It's like whipping past. Imagine, that haze whipping past as if it's a plane crossing through clouds. The clouds are moving past it, whipping past it, but only in front of the light, when the lights should be bright enough to illuminate the haze around it, should there be any. In fact, during the sighting, guys, this is weird, but when I saw that flash, that initial flash in my peripheral vision, I remember this. This is accurate, 100%. I fucking remember what my very first thought was before I even saw it, because this is the case 99% of the time. Subconsciously, I knew that that light was either going to be a plane that just became unobscured from cloud cover, light or otherwise, or just came out of the glow of light pollution. Remember, I told you the light pollution is all the way down there, small little sliver, but clear all the way otherwise, and only a little sliver over there. But I wasn't thinking like that at the time. I just saw a flash and assumed, oh, a plane just came overhead, whatever. I didn't see any before, but it just came out of the cloud. So, Then I looked up and it's clearly not a plane. It's not a triangle. I can't even recognize it as being like from Earth. And it's deadly quiet. It's getting closer, coming fast. Oh shit, it's a lot lower than I thought. Is that like right above the tree lines? Okay, no, it's not, thank God. Holy fuck, am I about to get abducted? Like I literally thought that I'm like, I'm alone out here. This is crazy. I have mostly I'm not concerned for myself. I was thinking I really want somebody to see this because this is profound. But it gets even more profound. I'm getting hyped up. I keep losing track. It's pulling the banking maneuver. I can see the depth between the orbs, right? Now I know, not a structured craft. As it's doing that banking maneuver, it begins to sort of like reorient itself. The perspective, guys, doesn't make sense. And this is why, like, I do entertain highly, like, the whole interdimensional hypothesis. Not like beings, but I mean, like, gravity shenanigans. Gravity, like lensing, gravitational lensing, distortion of the air, of the atmosphere around an object via exotic propulsion techniques that are theoretically known to be possible, like that one drive that starts with A I can't pronounce, sounds like a Pokemon, Alcubera, kind of wild holographic Alcubera. Alcubera drive, water attack, did 10 damage. Remember that? It's like an infinite energy one. It creates a gravity bubble or something, right? Around the craft. This is why UFOs apparently, quote unquote, don't splash when they go into water and distort light when light beams come into contact with it. In the same way, gravitational lensing happens. I personally believe that this is similar to what we're seeing. And you can see it in videos, especially the Aguadilla video. I'll get back right on track after this, but I'm not really off track. This is what I mean by gravitational lensing. What we're seeing there is that galaxy in the background isn't actually bending. The galaxy is far away, and this object is between the viewer, us, and that far away galaxy. But here's the thing. this celestial body, maybe it's a planet, star, whatever. I'm not smart enough to actually remember like whatever the prerequisites here, but whatever. It's got a lot of mass. Envision physical space, outer space, interstellar space, the fabric of space itself, intertwined with time. It's more like a mesh net, if that makes sense. If you go to, I'll use the classic example, go to your bed, grab some bowling balls, go to your bed, grab some pool balls, then grab some golf balls, whatever. A golf ball is small, pool ball is like slightly bigger, bowling ball is huge, a basketball big. The size doesn't really matter because some are heavier than others. They might be smaller. You drop the bowling ball in the center of the mattress, it sinks the mattress in. The mattress sinks around the weight, the mass of the bowling ball. In this metaphor, we're using the bowling ball to represent a planet, a sun, a star, whatever, something with mass around it. Okay, this is how things orbit it because they're going around the suction of that mass. So in other words, what you're seeing there is a giant bowling ball, okay, and it sucks things kind of like into it and keeps things in orbit. Things spin around it. Okay, I could be butchering this, but you get the general idea. So the point is, if you try and roll a ball across your bed with the bowling ball in the center, it's going to get caught up in the sinking mattress from that super massive object that has a ton of mass. So what it's doing is distorting the fabric of space-time. I think the masser the object, the more time. How does time work in that way again? Time is perceived differently depending on how massive, this whole thing, man. I'm not going to get into it. I'm no expert. I'm not one of those people, okay? I know my limits. As fun as it is to read about. My point is that it also manipulates light. Black hole does the same thing, right? It's the same thing. Black hole's just super massive dense and it sucks. Anything that enters, it never escapes, including light. So what we're seeing here in this GIF is a massive object bending the light, the photons or whatever they're called, as they're traveling to the viewer. Because it's so massive, just like the bowling ball in the bed, the straight light beam gets curved. Sort of like a golf ball hitting it into the hole. There's a slight hill and it just misses it, rims it. You know what I'm saying? That's kind of the effect here. And part of that effect is this misty, foggy haze effect. The air around these orbs, these lights, was sort of like rippling. And I couldn't fucking believe it because, guys, come on. You know what that means. Anyone like interested in UFOs, casually or otherwise, have probably heard the whole rippling idea. Like some people have described all these classic UFO cases, from Rendlesham Forest to the Phoenix Lights incidents, March 13th, 1997. Big, giant, mile-wide shaped, V-shaped craft overhead, flies over Phoenix. Thousands of people purportedly witnessed it. Those that were directly underneath it, they looked up. One kid, he was like 11, he described it as like looking at the underbelly was looking at the air in front of a gasoline nozzle. You know how it ripples? Okay, wavy. Another adult man described it as looking at the underbelly as if you're looking an inch above really hot pavement at 12 p.m. in the middle of summer in Arizona. It's wavy, it's wiggly. There's a name for it, I forget. I call it wiggly road syndrome. That's what I call it, okay? I'm the PhD here. Road PhD. That's not exactly what I saw, but I saw the fog, the mist. People describe this mist that hangs around it, sort of like self-contained in an invisible barrier like a snow globe. People have reported that. I'm not saying that's what I saw, but guys, as fast as this thing was moving, it was like moving with its own pocket of fog, of haze, of mist, whipping past it, but only visible when it's in front of the lights. But like, it doesn't make sense. The perspective doesn't make sense. It was as if like it was like an illusion or something. Like it was so fucking like so weird. And how could I see the lights if the mist was in front of it? And yeah, I can see like the mist, the haze, it didn't dim the lights. They were just as bright. So it's not like they were darkening as if I were covering up lights. Actually, let's see if you can see that vape smoke. Look at the light on my face. Nope, then it's not heavy enough smoke to I don't have that lung capacity. But you get what I'm saying. It's not obstructing. It's like envision like a wall of hanging fog that has been undisturbed all day on top of a road in the morning after a week long of rain in Georgia, untouched by motor vehicles for that whole week in a motorcycle, badass motorcyclist with Fallout 4 patrolman sunglasses, gunner skull bandana equipped, metal pocketed chest piece, hardened chest piece, legendary. He's on his bike. He fucking blasts through the wall of fog, and the fog, it fucking twirls it, whatever. But envision if the fog was invisible and only visible in front of the headlights of the motorcycle. This sounds so stupid to like harp on, but guys, it was blowing my fucking mind because I kept switching between, wow, it's up in the clouds. That's what I was thinking. I said, oh man, I'm gonna lose it in the clouds, and I kept realizing there are no fucking clouds. There's not a single cloud up there. It's humid, but there's not even like hanging haze, other than light pollution and other than the moon being brighter than usual. It my view was unobscured because, like I said, this was unambiguous. This wasn't lights in the distance. This was above me and like close enough where I thought, wait a moment, is that above the trees? Like, do I need to like hold on to something? Fuck it, actually, that doesn't matter. They'll get me if they want to. You know what I'm saying? Whoever they are, they might be aliens, might be Gold Sachs bad boys. Same thing, maybe not. Who knows? You know. So at this point, this is where it gets crazy. And like when I saw this fly over, man, like my instincts were like tingling in a way I didn't expect. Like I immediately knew I was confronted with something that was like, it felt weird because I knew it was something intelligently controlled. Okay. The orbs were in perfect formation. When it was turning, you saw the plane video I showed you before. Planes, if you look carefully, HD camera, 4K, hyper zoomed in at like air shows, you'll see even fighter jets in the military in formation, their wings, wobble a little bit. They could be holding a tight V formation, but they're wobbling a little bit. They're going close. You know what I'm saying? They're tight. From a distance, they look unmoving, perfect, but they're not. Guys, this flew directly above me. Like it looked just a little higher than like a Chinese lantern some kid a few blocks down would have lit up, like the altitude that would have reached. It was fucking low. It was kind of unsettling. Okay, I'll be honest. As jaded and hardened as you think you might be, you see the shit in real life and you're like, oh my god, like that's actually really crazy. Um, so as it flew by me, I was fixed on one orb. I was basking at the fog, the mist. I was like, this is fucking crazy. I cannot believe it. It's like as it changed, the fog wasn't visible from a distance, guys. I couldn't see it from a distance. It was as I got to see it like close and turning that like it was almost like the turning maneuver, maybe a pitch change, an acceleration or deceleration maybe that I couldn't really see. Whatever it was doing, because it wasn't a maneuver, it was turning. Like maybe that triggered the haze. A haze is a byproduct of the propulsion, and it's depending on its directional, focus. Where it's, people have argued that light is refracted away from the viewer or toward the viewer, depending. This theory also accounts for possibly the burn victims from the Colares, Brazil UFO incidents, where people reported being burned when the thing changed angle, changed color associated with pitch changes, speed changes, trajectory changes. It slows down, it's red, but then boom, it blasts off, it's blue. It's the propulsion byproduct. That's the theory. That's what people are saying. Okay. What I was seeing, there was something around that fucking object, dude, or those objects. It was in a pocket of its own, is all I can say. Not fully encompassing it, and only visible when it was pulling its most radical part of the banking maneuver. Okay. And as it flew away, well, it didn't fly away. That's the crazy part. It didn't fly away. And I'll tell you why. I'll try and wrap this up, guys. I'm having fun. I'm half getting this off my chest. I like to rant. I'll cut this down for a clip later. By the way, if somebody wants to post this on Reddit, r/UFOs, that would be great. I don't think I'm allowed to post on Reddit. That would be cool. I don't know if that's allowed on behalf of a banned person, but that would be awesome, man. I can just email me or DM me on Instagram, and I'll give you like a template. Nothing serious. I'll just give you something to like copy paste. I'll give you the links to my Substack. Make it easy for you if you want to do that, because I think this is worth like reporting on. Okay, I'm looking at one orb more than the others. Okay, there's haze, there's fog, but I'm trying to soak in everything. As the orbs cross over each other, because they're turning right at that perfect angle, like my 10 o'clock position now, it's flown from my 12 to my 10. I'm starting to turn my body. The mist and fog is very apparent, but okay, what the fuck is that? I don't know. Let me move on. I'm fixated on this one orb. Instead of trying to look at it all, let me just look at one, because they're apparently all the same, but separate. And suddenly, like, it was like hypnotic. I looked at it, and I couldn't look away, number one, and it began to vibrate. I thought it was my pupils at first. I thought it was like a vision thing. Like strained eyes, looking at a computer all day, being a fucking nerd, click clack on my keyboard all day. Riffraff, semantic terrorism, misinformation and such, you know, the typical business. Boy name of MemoryHold, little false flag. But no, it wasn't. On my Substack, I included a video of something just totally random that matches this. It looked like a screw or a lug nut of some sort that's fixed on a threaded fastener or rod, okay? Something that you screw into place. Now imagine if that became partially unscrewed and it's on the tire of a car going down a bumpy road, for example, or something shaking. It kind of bounces. It bounces. Now it's fixed to that fastener, so it's not going up and down. It can't. But it bounces up and it kind of rotates a little bit and it wobbles in a very specific way. These orbs were so perfect the entire time that they looked like they were fixed to a space, like a quantum dot in space, and they were on a grid. They were on like a track, like a toy train would be, like an invisible track that they were tethered to and holding. Because guys, when they flew over me, I expected to see like the little deviations or flutters of like a drone, maybe, right? Because even those aren't perfect, even if they are using 1,000 of them in coordination with each other to make dragons in the sky and shit, and anime characters and whatnot. But if you zoom in, HD 4K camera super close, you'll see that like those kind of wiggle in formation too. Guys, these were like magnetically tethered together with an invisible string of some sort, to the point where even doing this incredible banking maneuver at high speed, faster than any plane I've seen other than the fighter jets at the air show. But even then, I'm literally saying, like, I can't tell you how quick. Envision a spotlight that flicks across the sky directly above you. That's it. I don't know. Like, that's what it was. Except I was there from the moment it appeared and the moment it left. And I was, like, basically looking in that area already, save for the beginning with the flash. So I saw it from start to finish. 2 seconds or not. I saw that fucker. I saw him. I caught him. Those motherfuckers, I caught him finally. I know they're up there. You know what I'm saying? Those fuckers are up there because it gets crazier. At this point, I'm seeing this crazy shit happen, silent, all that, everything I've said. The thing is starting to wobble, vibrate. Oh yeah, I was pulling up that video. Wobble, vibrate, etc. Like this. Look. Pull this down. Now, look at the way the lug nut moves, not in the center as it becomes detached, but in the last nanoseconds before it becomes detached. Let me get my webcam out of here.
Nut rotate against gravity and come off a bolt.
Okay, do that again. All right, so the loosening process of it becoming unscrewed remains pretty constant until it gets to the top, where part of it becomes unfastened and it starts to wobble on its axis. Normal.
How does a loose
normal,
nut rotate
normal.
against
Okay, now it's starting to wobble at this point.
against gravity?
See? And then here, look how it goes.
Come off
See how it really wobbles? It starts to shake the threaded fastener.
a bolt. Under appropriate vibration
From a different angle.
a loose
Okay,
nut
that wobbling right there at the end. Guys, that's what it was. And it started as if I was looking at this head on. Like, envision if you took the same tool this guy is using, except you're looking directly at it. And this little nut was the orb, and you're looking directly at it head on. It was loosening because it's coming closer to you, you know, in this example. And then as it gets closer and almost detached, it starts to wobble. Okay? That's what happened, but this is the craziest fucking part. After it wobbled, it was violent, dude. Like, while it's in formation turning, it was doing this by itself. Like, like becoming detached from its quantum plot that it was plotted to stay on. And then it fucking vibrated, and then it shook loose. And that's weird language to use. It shook loose. It was fucking like that. It started slow and it's gliding. All three of them are gliding, except one of them starts going like this as it's gliding. As it's gliding, it gets fucking like really intense. I'm like, oh Jesus Christ. It was like an animal that looks small, but then it stands on its hind legs. It's fucking giant. I was like, oh fuck, it's about to do something, and I'm about to be here for it. What the fuck is happening? Radiation blast. Time for an MRI. SAPS gave me an MRI. Hey doc. Hey, the government's gonna pay me for that, right? It shook loose. So fucking vibrating, going across the sky. It shook loose, and as it shook loose, they all rotated around each other. Each orb suddenly began to fucking spiral around each other. Isosceles triangle moving past me. I see it sideways. One begins to violently shake loose right after it's done turning away, like, shakes loose, comes out, rotates. As it flies, it's following the same trajectory, following the same path. That gradual fucking turn from my 12 to my 9. Here I am on my phone. Holy shit, a flash in the sky. What the fuck? That. Almost directly above me. The apex of the turn, where I could see the side of this triangle, or this formation of 3 objects in a triangle formation, okay, was fucking like right there. Guys, I have never seen whatever that was. Like, it just, like, before this even started, when it was just gliding, I already knew right off the bat that's something way out of this world or something. Like, we either found some shit and made that and based it off of that, or we made some shit that's just so far. But I can't even think of any utility of it. What would we need for crafts that can spiral? And why would they be spiraling right above me? Like, and going so fast? And as it's following across the sky, it's starting to fall, like, fly away now. I'm about to lose it over the tree line and into the light pollution. Remember that light pollution over the houses to my left? I'm thinking, oh man, I've got a few more seconds left, right? So I begin to, like, back pedal so I can see more, okay, of it as I back my body up, as if that really makes a difference. But it never reached the tree line, guys. I would have another second. It's about to go over the tree line, but it's still perfectly visible, hasn't hit the light pollution yet. Rotating. Each one has a tail like a comet. All of a sudden, envision very long teardrops, but teardrops that don't, like, hit the other dot. Equidistant, same length. There's no flickers or speckles or dots or whatever, as if it's like a flame, like a genuine flame. It was contained, triangular, contained. Like, it did look wispy, fiery slightly. Like, it didn't look, but it was contained. There was no flames. It was a teardrop, a cartoon teardrop, elongated. Like, I'm just gonna, I don't know, draw this out, make a shitty drawing. I could probably do it on, like, a program on the computer, but whatever. Let's see if I can do this. I'm a bad drawer. I think you guys will get the picture. These look like little I'm a bad drawer, guys. These look like little fucking sperms. Sorry, not to be gross, but for real, this is actually kind of gross. God damn it. Whatever, guys, you get it. Alright. They're going like this. In the first one, hopefully you can see this, obviously. Basic triangle, just fucking 3 dots, okay? Other than when I saw it on the side. But look, you see how they spiral? Like, it was like this. You see how they're not touching? The gaps were actually further apart. This part, the orbs were still plainly visible, big circles. But the tail, like the teardrop shape, it wasn't like the classic teardrop shape. Which I'm also not going to be able to draw. Which is more fat, a little bit more of a fat boy, you could say, a little chunky. It's got a little bit in the waist. See? Like that, just a teardrop. Well, hold on, you can't see the point. Get what I'm saying? Just go to any 7-Eleven gangster. Hey, you got a felony? Let me see your face. One of them's gonna have it. Like that. See, it's short. Like a teardrop. Look up an emoji teardrop. It looks like that. These were comet tails, okay? But there was no sparks. Okay, this wasn't the tail of a flaming meteor. Guys, they were moving like mathematically equidistant or apart from each other. The gaps between these, you know, the end of the tail and the orb, the head of the next one, were bigger than this, but they were the same on each one. None were tighter together or further apart than the other. None ever touched the other. None ever deviated in speed. It was mathematical. That's what it was. It was mathematical. It was plotted. It was like a video game loading screen where you see planets orbiting around each other in perfect unison, some faster than others. But you look at that and you say, those are computer graphics. Dude, check out, check this video out. I promise it's real. Your friend is trying to get you hyped about this new game, next gen graphics, shit's crazy, indistinguishable from real life. It's cyberpunk with mods, bro. But check this out. I'm gonna tell my buddy this is a real video of a guy getting on a motorbike. But you can still tell there's something just off. I don't care how many texture packs you get or whatever. You get what I'm saying? There's probably some genetic thing. It's probably meant to spot shapeshifters and shit. Ancient man used this intuition, the sixth sense, to spot shapeshifters. Hello, fellow kids. Mind if I pull up to this camp? What? Do you have a nice campfire? It's really like a shape-shifting gray alien. Ancient man learned how to combat those. I'm just kidding. You know what I'm saying? But like, the comet tails were mathematical. They terminated at a fine point. They were the same length, and they just cartoonishly spiraled around each other. It literally looked, not completely, and you guys are going to kill me for bringing this up. I was watching this for a while because the world has gotten crazy enough for something like this to be real, but you might recall the likely fake MH370 abduction video. This is apparently leaked footage taken from onboard a Predator drone of MH370, the one that went missing in 2014, while it was abducted by those goddamn big-headed, bug-eyed freaks, them great aliens. Take a look. But for real, it looked kind of like this. Watch. The plane is there, filled with important scientists about to cure cancer or something. You see how the orbs are spinning around it. All right. It was that was basically what they were doing. But you see how they're still flying, they're not stationary. Now, in this video, you see how they're leaving trails on the video too, even though this is likely CGI. Envision those trails, but you see how those trails, even those differ from each other. They're wispy. Guys, my trail was cartoonishly luminous, perfectly layered. Each one is luminous as the other, no brighter, no less bright, no bigger, no smaller, no faster, no slower. Evenly spaced, mathematical. The way they began moving, it was as if someone, like an invisible hand in the ether that I could not perceive, it was not part of the visible spectrum, and whatever this was, just suddenly, I don't know, it fucked up. The new guy fucked up, and he shifted his crafts into a visible spectrum where I can see it for like a split second before he's like, oh, god damn it, and he fixes it. All joking aside, I don't actually think that necessarily. All joking aside, the way it initiated the spin and that thing was coming loose, it felt like an invisible hand was fucking trying to get that motherfucker out. And as soon as he got it out, that triggered a mechanical, scientific precision, as if they were magnetically tethered to each other, which explains how they each instantaneously began moving at the same exact time. And I think back to those testimonies from the World War II pilots, Allied pilots, and Nazi pilots, Axis Towers pilots. They described the Foo Fighters, orbs of light, colored, green, sometimes blue, red, whatever, would pace the wings of their aircrafts and would follow them for miles and miles. It wouldn't move. It would just, the plane is chilling. He's on the wing, just chilling. But here's the weird thing. The pilots would describe them, number one, as playful. They would play with the craft, bounce back and forth if they did move. They would mimic the plane's movements. If they turn, they turn. But here's the thing. Unlike a follower plane that would initiate a banking maneuver maybe after only a 1 second delay, you, the leader, begin your turn, the plane follows. You've seen the videos, the cool action movies. Sir, yes, sir, roger that, God, bomb that town, that village, based off of metadata, coming in hot. And they fucking over, killer hornet coming in, they fucking bank. But it's not instantaneous. The two objects, it was like all these three objects were like connected by a tether that made everything they did perfect and instantaneous and a direct mirror of the other. And the movement was animated. It was like a projection screen. It was like a CGI. It was like planets orbiting a center. Like, it looked like, and what this guy's, it gets crazier because the things, they were getting closer to the center. So I'm sitting there at this point, I'm shocked and I was like a little concerned because this was happening directly above me, is what I'm saying, guys. This wasn't far away. This was directly above me, and it started doing this thing. I'm like, oh my fucking God, like, what am I seeing here? Like, part of me thinks, like, is the rest of this 2 mile wide fucker about to suddenly become visible? And I'm gonna suddenly belong to one of those, like, what do they call those phobias where you're scared of, like, being next to humongous objects or big, vast spaces, like, something like that, you know? Panic. Oh, holy fuck. I can't see the stars anywhere I look. It was creepy, man. And as they did that, they were getting closer to the center, getting faster as they got close to the center, all while flying along. And this is the part where, like, I would never lie to you guys. If I'm wrong about something, it's like a genuine error, like an honest mistake, right? Obviously, I have bad takes, I guess you could say. I wouldn't call them distasteful. Even though I'm a UFO guy, loved UFOs my entire life, and if you're seeing this, you're not like a viewer of my channel, you don't know who I am, you're just seeing this guy, you look at my channel, you're seeing the types of videos I make, I'm a kook, you know, those first impressions, it's not, I have never been the type to claim to see UFOs. And I was resigned to a life of never ever seeing one. I've been looking like every night, like as long as I can remember. My 4th grade book project was to write a journal entry about my favorite song. I chose Blink-182, Aliens Exist. And now I'm old enough to see Tom DeLonge play like this crazy role, for better or for worse. I don't know everything. Is it a psyop? Is he instrumental in this psyop? This John Podesta aligned leftist, whatever, okay? Fact is, he was the face of it and he initiated something huge that's still happening and is probably going to heat up, to be honest. That's what I hear for this coming year, because they're re-implementing or trying to get the Schumer Amendment passed again, which gives the government eminent domain over private sector, private aerospace, alien, that's what they say, or off-world vehicles. In other words, if you have flying saucers, you now have to give them to me by law, because we just passed legislation with Chuck Schumer's name on it, after a bunch of guys, witnesses, high-ranking military witnesses, claim out and said, yeah, we got crash retrievals, we got alien bodies, we got this, we got this. I saw that fucking tic-tac. He was going fast, little bleep blurp, sipping across. I caught him on radar, caught him on this. 10 people saw it, bona fide, under oath, give me that Bible, bing, bang, boom. Okay? Things are happening, no matter what you think about them, no matter if you like it or not. It would be unwise to ignore this. The last thing you want to be blindsided by is things that look like those big-headed, big-eyed fucking freaks, okay? If that's what they are. If they're not, like, it's whatever it is going to be scary, is my point. And, like, very serious, very sobering, very, like, with vast implications, is my point. Whatever I saw, like, was immediately recognizable as not being from here, because as it converged into the center over and over and over, the moment it hit the center, it literally blinked out of existence in front of me. I didn't look away. I didn't even think I was blinking. Guys, it disappeared in front of my eyes, like almost directly above me, long before it hit the light pollution. It was there. It blew my socks off. It impacted me in like a more impactful way than like I actually ever anticipated. It's kind of a mind fuck, to be honest with you. I don't feel bad about it, but I'm very serious about it. It's got its upsides. Like I said, I no longer doubt the worth of the topic, researching, the time spent writing about it, thinking about it, trying to figure it out, learn about the world. Strange reality we find ourselves in unwittingly. But then you see it. And you realize that, like, I kind of get it now. Like, so, you know, those people that even if they had time to record it, they don't even run to their cameras because they're so amazed by it. you know? What I just described to you isn't really any different than seeing drones at night, because remember, it was just moving fast, but it was moving just on a curve. It wasn't like appearing and disappearing and like crazy shit, or what Elizondo and the community calls demonstrating any of the 5 observables. This kind of was the weightlessness, anti-gravity, so on and so forth. But you get my point. Usually, if it doesn't have one of the 5 observables, it's very easy to rule as a prosaic man-made object of one sort or another, even if it's top secret military tech, cutting edge, innovative, whatever, secret. But like, now I get it. I get it. I didn't need any thought to recognize this for what it was. I recognized it as like unrecognizable. It's not something like it with enough time and energy and searching, I'll be able to identify what that plane was, or I'll be able to figure out that anomaly, that very rare space anomaly that, you know, happens at, no, like, this wasn't that, okay? It just immediately, you fucking know. You know, in the same way you see a mountain lion and know that that thing can easily kill you. It's not a question, you're not going to wrestle it, you're not a hero, you're dead, you're done. If it decides to, you're fucked. Maybe. I mean, you know, if it doesn't hit an art, you get what I'm saying? Like, just an immediate fucking instinctual genetic recognition of, like, your place. I saw it and I immediately knew my place. There wasn't pride in this. I look at a cool plane, I'm like, fuck, man, like, human ingenuity. I looked at this and I was like, oh, fuck, dude, I hope to God, I, like want to fucking pray to God and hope that, like, it's either ours, the good guys, something we have, or if it is like the product of like some other, you know, that they just don't want to vaporize us, that they're not like farming souls like aged wine. Hopes, dreams, pain, suffering, happiness, etc. Really just the quality, that the spice of life to make that wine extra tasty for them aliens. Oh, that light you see that people report when they're dying? That's artificial technological light the aliens made to trick you to slide into it, into their soul container. Like, I hope it's not that. Because now I know whatever it is, like, is there. 100%. Undoubtedly. It was there. You know, maybe they're always there. I can't see them. Because apparently they could just appear and disappear at will. And guys, let's think back to when I first saw it. What drew my attention to it? A flash. But to those of you listening carefully, did I say it was blinking? Did I say it changed luminosity? I said it was bright. I didn't say it ever changed luminosity. Did it change color? No, it didn't, right? It was fairly mundane. It was 3 white, creamish objects flying through the sky in triangle formation, quietly, silently. So what was the flash? I'm walking back to my car after this incident, furiously writing everything down so I can make something like this, whether it's super rambly and verbose or not. Take it or leave it. Thank you for those that take it. I got that sinking feeling in my stomach when you have a realization, like bad news. Whoops, just got bad news. Ah, fuck. Like, fuck. Like, oh, fuck. A real realization. I felt violated. Because I realized that subconscious thought I had when I first drew my gaze. Oh, a plane's coming out of the clouds. Oh, a plane is suddenly becoming visible. Guys, there was no clouds. There was no light pollution, not over there. The planes in the sky, I had already seen. There was only, I think at the time, one, and it was so far away, guys, that I knew that by default, without a doubt, without a question, it would have taken a minimum of like several seconds before it could get anywhere near where it would appear to be above me, anywhere near where that craft was. In other words, I'd see it coming. I'm very attentive. I looked at my phone to change a song, but I'm looking. If a light fucking appears, dude, I'm on that shit. I call it fishing with your eyes. Stargazing is just fishing with your eyes. I caught a huge bass on that night. You know what I mean? I see something, I'm looking, dude. Doesn't matter. Lightning bug, fuck, again. I'm not just seeing a flash, oh, it's probably this, it's probably that. No, I'm looking to check. And then I didn't think of it, though, at that time. Because it was just there and it was amazing. So I didn't think, like, wait a moment, how did it get there? You mean to tell me that this massive this big object, like dime at arm's length, 3 of them in formation, tight formation, scientific, precise formation, I didn't see it coming. I didn't see it coming because the clearance on either side, because remember, it's coming directly, almost directly at me. So unless it was coming from the side and did a 90-degree angle, I should have been able to see that fucker come from way out. And even though, like, it probably would have appeared more ambiguous, you know, at that time, actually, from a distance. Could be a plane. Maybe I'm not seeing it blink. Maybe it's, I don't know, maybe it's not blinking, but it's still a plane. I would have seen it approach. I would have watched it approach because I'm like compulsive, obsessively about making sure, okay, when that fucker approaches, I'm going to find out. Like, I got to make sure. You know what I mean? I'm not letting that shit cross the horizon without me figuring out what it is that's, you know, bothering me. Or immediately ruling out that it's like beyond my skill set. I would need like radar data, you know, to validate it or whatever it is. An astronomer's telescope. So it dawned on me, and I got that sinking feeling when I realized that I think it, like, can't believe I'm fucking saying this, dude. Like, I think it, like, might have blinked into existence directly above me, is what what I'm trying to say. The flash was bright, but I thought it was a plane, like a wingtip of a plane, but brighter, a little bit brighter. Not like crazy, like a camera bulb. Actually kind of close to that, though. It was brighter than a plane's wingtip, but not like crazy blinding. Didn't illuminate the ground or something. It was one of those luminosity levels that I thought for sure, you know, the ones you catch in your peripherals. That one, definitely not a lightning bug. Too bright. It was one of those where I'm like, yo, that's gonna stand a good chance to be like a meteor or something. That was pretty bright. Probably a plane though. I look up, no, it wasn't. It was just fucking there, dude. This massive, maybe a massive thing, if it was a thing. These objects, dude, they just like, they didn't look real. It was like uncanny valley. Like I recognized it as an imposter. Like, you fucking bitch, you look like a plane, but you're no plane. You're trying to trick me. Well, it wasn't really though, because it wasn't blinking. It had no wings. Actually, it wasn't really trying to trick me at all. It's almost as if, dude, like, I know this sounds crazy. I don't actually believe this, but it was so perfect. My perspective, my position, my vantage point was so perfect. And not only did I see it for, like, it felt like it was fucking with me. Like it did a cool trick to perform in front of me or something. Like it just fucked up. The new guy, Glenn, he's a big-eyed, bug-eyed fucking freak, silicon life form freak, flying through my goddamn skies unimpeded, unmolested, because we don't have the tech to shoot him down yet. What a regret. What a shame. You know, he fucked it up. Whoops, we became visible to the humans again. Panic ensues. I watched the fucker fly over, you know? Okay, we fixed it. Hit the cloak again. They fucking spiral away or something, you know? I'm being silly here. But, dude, I keep losing track because I just keep fucking replaying it in my head, dude. It's so crazy. What was I saying? Chat, help me out. I'll check in on you guys now. All two of you. 32, damn, dude, you guys survived. You guys survived an onslaught, man. Yeah, I don't know. Hopefully you guys believe me, man. I don't want to lie. Like, I would never lie to you guys. I never lied to you guys. I'm not 100% accurate on stuff. And I want to clarify too, guys, while I'm here. Thank you for joining. I really do appreciate that, especially since it's late, long weekend. Hope you guys enjoyed that. Spiraling missile launch. We've all seen it. If you browse UFO forums occasionally or all the time, there's always the classic misidentification with the advent of private space endeavors such as SpaceX. Okay, what you see is this phenomenal view that I would love to see. It's incredible. Like I said, whatever I saw, it doesn't matter if it's aliens. I'm not arguing that it's something otherworldly, even though I'm using that language, because to be quite frank, like, I really would not. It seems more likely, honestly. It seems more likely. Just by its essence, its nature, immediately recognizable. In the same way you recognize something as immediate, like right away, as non-human, even if it's like partially obscured. Is that a dog? No, that's a dog. It's not a human. Actually, I don't know what that is. Ain't a human. It's a beast of some sort of another. You know what I mean? That's how it felt. It was immediate. But so in other words, I know it's not this. You guys seen these videos? This is a rocket launch that spirals. Okay. And a few years ago, maybe as far back as 2009, when this stuff, I don't know, kind of was just hitting the cultural zeitgeist, becoming popular maybe with more and more launches, it was trending on UFO forums around the world. It happened in like Germany, or like it was visible. Where was it? Yeah, Norway. It was in the Norwegian sky. Take a look.
Spiral.
What I'm saying is it's not this. When you think of spiral, the reasonable of you will think, oh shit, okay, the rocket launch, SpaceX does that spiral thing. It's luminous. But it wasn't this.
The sky over Norway on Wednesday. CBS News correspondent Sheila McVicker has the latest on the mystery. Sheila, good morning.
Good morning, Harry. Mysterious light indeed. A light appearing high in the Arctic sky.
Sorry.
Baffling those who saw it and exciting.
Figure out what caused a mysterious blue light to spiral in the sky over Norway on Wednesday. CBS News correspondent Sheila McVicker has the latest on the mystery. Sheila, good morning.
Good morning, Harry. Mysterious light indeed. A light appearing high in the Arctic sky. Baffling those who saw it and exciting a lot of comment. Early yesterday morning, just before dawn, this appeared in the Norwegian sky.
So look, you see how, but look how that's kind of emanating away from the center in a way. Like, it does kind of, I don't know. It's very similar. It is rotating toward the center, but that's more like a defined singular center with a big wispy tail extending outward in a spiral. You see what I'm saying? Like, that's not separate orbs, that's a single, like, tail. Which I believe it is, because that's like a part of the rocket that, I don't know, comes dislodged and it's dumping fuel, I think. I don't know, this video is explaining it. Let's listen.
Norwegian sky.
Okay, helvete är det där?
That's Norwegian for what the heck is that? A blue light, small at first, growing into a...
See, okay, but a dead giveaway. Look how the light is cone-shaped and emanating from the ground. Same thing with Chinese lanterns. The dead giveaway that it's not an orb, it's a Chinese lantern, is you'll see a lot of them in succession across the sky, dotting the sky, decreasing in altitude until you can eventually identify the launch point, because you'll see the ones furthest away are really high, the ones lower are over there, because one guy is launching them and the wind is carrying them, getting higher, okay? That's why you see any video with like orbs, red, that kind of flicker in brightness, and have that climb, some low down here, like I just assumed Chinese lanterns. I'll still watch to make sure. So my point is the fact that right away you see something emanating from the ground. Your first thought should go to something prosaic, man-made, something launched, okay? Something being dumped, whatever. Still quite a fantastic, like, visual though.
Spiral, and then disappearing into what appeared to be a black hole.
That's basically what I literally saw, guys. Like, something fucking spiraled into a black hole, and it wasn't this shit at all.
In the northern community of Trondelag and on a Norwegian military base, cell phones snapped, video cameras rolled, and bloggers got busy.
Also, look at the curved nature. It's not straight, like diagonal, but straight into the sky. No, it's kind of curved, like a fucking rocket. Curves like over the horizon, right? You know what I'm saying, guys? What I saw was not that. Like what I saw, like it didn't. I feel like it didn't belong here. It was like way above the food chain. If we have it, I hope like someone like that doesn't want to fucking eat my face has it. You know what I'm saying? Now I think back to all those stories that like I deem credible and still deem credible. The Brazil Colares flap, things coming out of the water and burning people with beams, going through walls. The walls didn't matter. Some objects going above homes. The people would flee. We're talking about not like one or two people. This was like villages of people that were burned and had marks, and was investigated by the Brazilian intelligence and military, Project Saucer. And it's one of the most infamous cases and one of the few documented instances of seemingly purposeful burning. And a few people died. And what's weird is every one of them that claimed to be burned, they called them chupas or something. Chupas, biters, because they sucked people's blood, or suckers, little biters. And they had wounds. Every one of them had wounds. An isosceles triangle. Pinpricks, like needle marks, but slightly bigger, imprinted, sort of like a tetanus shot, but smaller in each circle. And every one of those people that reported getting burned from those little fucking big-eyed freaks zipping around my waters and such, maritime bleep blorp freaks burning people, they all tested for low hemoglobin, apparently. That's how the story goes. You should watch the testimony of the guy I don't know his name. He got strangled to death. So, after he came out and said this, I think. Isn't this the guy that got strangled to death?
O momento da Operação Prato, vocês estavam toda hora mandando relatórios do que acontecia lá para a chefia, né? Mas em algum momento vocês perguntaram se haveria possibilidade de informar a população sobre isso.
Those people claim to have gotten burned by fucking things flying through the sky, going through the water, this, that, the other thing. There's photographs. You know? There's photographs. You can, you know, argue the validity and stuff, but that's just one of a few cases of, like, injuries, accidental or not. Travis Walton, abduction experience. Fake? Real? Whatever. But in that story, he enters close proximity to a landed craft. The craft activates or seems to start to go. He gets blown backward and disappears, according to his friends. Or something. Blown backward, according to him. He's abducted, gone for a week. Police suspect their friends murdered him. They were in the woods and are trying to cover it up. He reappears like a week or a couple days later in like a telephone booth miles away with like a strange amount of beard growth for the short time he was gone. Or something like that. Maybe it's the other way around. He's all frazzled. Oh my god, where am I? Those ugly fucking bugs, they took me. I was chopping trees. Next thing I knew, I was looking at a bug-eyed freak. That's the world. You know. But he recounted being like healed, actually, instead of like the horrific abduction surgeries that some people hear about in classic abduction lore. He recalled like they were healing him, like they were like, "Oh fuck, bro, why'd you walk past the engine, dude? Right when I was turning it on. All right, come here. Nah, it's okay. You know, rubbing you on the head. Nah, it's okay, Bucko. We'll get you patched right up using crazy technology. A billion gajillion years in the future, more advanced. You know, they heal him of all these wounds that he had. You know, again, outrageous, outlandish, but the repeating theme." Like wounds and injuries coming from these crafts. Like you think about that. Then you think about like the clause they put in the United Nations like treaty or agreement. It's between the Soviet Union and the United States. I think it was like during the Cold War, maybe during the peak, maybe just before. It was about nuclear war mitigation and how to mitigate the threat of a nuclear war. It was talking about what happens if we accidentally hit the go button and we're like, oh shit, hey, president, don't kill the world. It was an accident. My son, he tipped the cup over and he not launched a nuke or whatever. Sorry, just don't kill us. You know, what do you do during that? What if it's a misidentification? My computer's glitched out. I see American missiles. Is that happening? Like, what happened? These protocols. And in that clause, I think about this now that I've seen something like this. I think about how there's a specific excerpt that talks about aerial vehicles, unknown, anomalous, like unknown, unidentified aerial vehicles, not able to be positively identified, that activate nuclear missiles unwittingly, or something like that. Aerial vehicles maneuvering around in the vicinity of, in relation to, or interacting with either Soviet Union or United States nukes in a way that triggers or can trigger or has the potential to trigger a false alarm, an actual war, an actual launch, etc. The fucking thing just turned my nukes on somehow. Oh, fuck. That's basically what they're saying. That's a real excerpt from a real treaty during the Cold War that was drafted during the Cold War that's saying UFOs in the sky are such a fucking threat, we don't know what they are, that we need to put in the treaty that in the case of one of those things prompting inadvertently a launching sequence or something, we have these protocols. And you're going to tell me this isn't important. I mean, right now, technically, I feel sound in saying you're going to tell me that they truly know what that is. They truly know what's behind it. Like, I can't help but shake that feeling, guys, where, yeah, there's people that know a lot, some more than something, deep in the black. The remnants of the Manhattan Project SAP system, the private sector, the MK Ultra corner, the enhanced interrogation technique corners. How do I rip the teeth out of that prisoner's skull better? Let's make a RAND report. Think about all the dope ways, 150 pages of how best to rip a fucking POW's teeth out to get answers. It's war, after all. Gotta save the homeland. It's not like, you know, you think about that, you realize how very important I think the topic is. That's all I'm saying. That's all I'm saying. That's all I can say. I don't know what it was, man. And I know since I drew this out, like I kind of intended it. I just wanted to chill and like actually get this off my chest. And hopefully, like I said, I want to put this on the record, so to speak. In case anybody saw something, I haven't found any reports. I've been looking. I did find a pilot, actually, a commercial airliner, I think, recently made a crazy fucking report. Even featured, you know, creepy, deepy men in black people. The guys that knock on the door. Hey, what's your name? Heard you saw something last night. No, you didn't. Can you describe it? Oh, cool. No, you didn't. If you talk about it, gonna kill you. Those types, the men in black, right? They show up after these sightings, apparently. Apparently, like in the sign scene, there's been strangers around these parts. Some farmers in upstate New York in throughout August have apparently, according to this pilot, having to kick out people in military fatigues, trespassing in numbers. And it's that same area the pilot witnessed this UFO activity. And it was it was like one of those mile-wide UFOs. It was over rural upstate New York, somewhere not too far from Albany. My point is that was right around the time my sighting occurred in southern New York, closer to the city. But in no way resembled it other than that. So that's my sighting. I don't know. Does anybody have questions? I kind of talked so long that I'm like getting too tired to like... Anyone has questions? Let me just like catch up a little bit. Sorry guys, I meant to catch up earlier. Thank you for joining, guys. What's up, Magna? What's up, SD? Saxon, how are you? Navy, what's up? Hussein? What's up, dude? Hard Eyes, what's up? Cool Hooks, what's up, dude? I gotta find out. I almost don't want to find out, but if the music was too loud for like the first 10 minutes or whatever. I'm rusty, like I said, it's been a while. I've been writing stuff active on Substack, but you know, if you're just joining us now, I saw the number jump up a couple people. Obviously, I've been at this for like an hour, but I just basically concluded. I don't know if any of you have questions about it. It's pretty straightforward, man. It's 2 seconds, and remember, I documented this all at length. It's over on Substack. Just go to memoryhold.substack.com. That isn't the only thing that I want you to take a look. I've covered UFOs before. Surprisingly little compared to other topics. But nonetheless, the coverage I've done, I think it's pretty good. But anyway, I broke down my entire sighting here. Find it on Substack. Would appreciate if you sign up for the newsletter. That helps me grow. Data dumps, resources, show notes, all the fun stuff, you know. And essays you're not going to find like on YouTube or whatever. So yeah, you know, if you prefer, instead of watching this back, if you want to just read this, you know, there's that. You know, I put graphics in there just to demonstrate like what I was seeing. Oh yeah, the one thing I didn't say was like the drain type idea. Like I did kind of say it, but yeah, like envision like a really dirty bathtub. Specks of dust when you're draining a bathtub and the water's getting low and it makes a little tornado, a little drain bathtub tornado. Come on. A lot of us are going to remember that as kids. You fucking throwing stuff in there. My toy duck, I'm going to throw that bitch in the NATO going down the drain. Right? Spin, spin, spins. But the particles, they spin, 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 then they converge in the center. They go down. Okay? Envision like that. Except like what I saw, it wasn't like suction. Even though the lights were going into the center, it wasn't suction being sucked in. It's like they were mathematically adjusting themselves, like you were adjusting like the magnification of like an optical zoom lens or something, like a camera. Like it didn't look like a force was pulling them, rather than they were purposefully like converging to whatever. Like that was their final form to get to whatever they were, like wherever they were going, or whatever it was doing. It was like the final part of the process. That's true if it was a natural phenomenon. Think of the way a lightning bolt terminates. You know what I'm saying? Like everything comes to an end. Was it sudden or was it gradual? Did it fade or did it suddenly stop? Did it rumble or was it a fucking clap? Headphone warning. So yeah, go to Substack if you're interested in that. And guys, you know, I'm not going to talk about it here. I don't have the energy and it doesn't belong. But what I'm really proud of and what I really want to mention, I got to do a video, but I'm kind of dreading it because it's so dense. But this is probably the more important story I've covered in I don't know, a long time. It's an accumulation of years worth of research on the California Forever billionaire city that I personally believe, my theory is that it doubles as a defensive military platform. It's a partnership between the DoD and private sector Silicon Valley tech startup companies that are aligned with national strategic initiatives. It's a military city, in other words, okay? It's crazy how fucking long this is. That doesn't necessarily mean it's quality, but I promise you this is quality. This is a year's worth of original research. I'm proud to finally get this out. I've been meaning to get this out. And there's crazy, crazy connections in there. Read that. But yeah, man, when it comes to UFO, I saw what I saw. I'm just going to end on that before I continue and drag this out, you know. I saw what I fucking saw, dude. I know I saw something. I know my senses. My intuition, right? But I'm also logical, objective. But like something really alarmed me when I laid eyes on that fucker. Like he was immediately just a stranger. I don't know you. You're on my doorstep immediately. Scan for familiarity. Nothing at all. What the fuck? Whatever. Its very essence. I don't know. I don't know. It wasn't like, did it move funny? Did it look funny? Did it have a? It wasn't like that. It just was. Is my point. And that's what I don't get, and it's confusing, frankly. It's just what it was not right. Unnatural, but not synthetic, like unnatural in a man-made synthetic way. It was just like not from here. Like imagine giving a 2D being, a being that lives in flat land, right? He can look right, he can look forward, he can look backward, he can look to the left. You know the Carl Sagan video? But he can't look up and he can't look down because in two-dimensional flatland, you occupy three-dimensional space, okay, where we can perceive this depth. We can look up, down, left, right, and we perceive time as a straight line, linearly from point A to point B. Every phase, naturally, artificial, whatever, has a beginning. The middle has an end. For the most part, whatever. You can get technical about it. This was just, I don't know, I just saw it as, you just knew, man. I don't know. I keep trying to put fucking words to it. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter. I mean, okay, it's man-made technology. Okay, so you want to spin. You want to skunk work secret tech. I want to make balls that fucking spin in a vortex for no reason. Like, are dead silent, but I want to spin them. I want to spin them boys. Because it's fun. Like, I want deep black sap aerospace programs. Who knows, maybe, you know, the most cutting edge tech. I want to make it spin and make it fun, since I'm going to be piloting it. I want them skunkworks jets to go fast, baby. You got TVs in there? What the fuck? Like, what's the application? Okay, so it's human-made, it's secret tech. What's the application? Why the spin? Is there a function? Well, I'll tell you what. Perhaps. Because as far as I'm concerned, what I witnessed was immediately after the spiral, and the moment they converged into the center, gone. Just gone. Gone. Not there anymore. In the same way, a flash appeared in the sky, just above me, not in the light pollution, not behind the trees, not directly above me, but pretty fucking close, and it was just there, and moving. It was like an NPC in Skyrim clipped through a wall and just like appeared suddenly, but he was running after like a rad roach that he aggroed somehow or something. He didn't fade in. There wasn't like a transitional fade, cinematic fade. No. It was like he appeared and he was fucking sprinting, and then he just disappeared while still fucking sprinting and doing a barrel roll. I felt like I saw like a glimpse of an interdimensional battle or something accidentally. Like there was a scuffle going on up there. That dude was pulling some fucking evasive maneuvers, fighting for his goddamn life, that little orb. I sound crazy. I'm having fun. But for real, That's actually kind of funny. That is what happened. It wasn't stationary. It's like it appeared at a fucking sprint, dude. And right before it disappeared, it spiraled, and the moment it hit the center, it disappeared. AKA, does the spiral, why would humans, other than for fun, yeah, I want to fucking, like, what's the fucking point? It seems more trouble than it's worth if you have a practical function. A U-2 spy plane, cutting edge for the time. The Blackbird, I gotta pull a Nevada, aka the thing goes so fast that it takes an entire fucking state to pull a 180. That's how fast it's going. But what does that do that's special? It just goes fast, among other cool things. Okay, it's got a lot of bells and whistles, but straight line, fast. Doesn't go side to side, it can't stop on a dime. It's very much a human man-made airplane. The best of the best at one time, but a man-made airplane nonetheless using combustible propulsion. Noise emits from it. G-forces are exerted upon the pilots. There is inherently a ceiling using this propulsion, meaning you can only sustain a maximum amount of G-forces, aka you can only go so fast, do so many, if you are a physical pilot, without being liquefied. And the performance in the maneuvers we're seeing in the most credible UFO cases, aka that 1%, the 1%, that's where the good stuff actually lies. It's not in the 90%. It's not on the YouTube videos. It's in that 1% that oftentimes the government is admitted to, like, yeah, actually unidentified. They don't expound on it. That's where the secrecy comes in. But yeah, it's unidentified. That's it. And yet those are the most fantastical ones. The mundane ones are the ones that are most often fake, turns out. Isn't that funny? The ones that say a fucking saucer flew next to my window and I saw something inside and I saw a dome, like, you know what I'm saying? Like crazy shit that sounds fake. Those are the ones historically, and this is provable, confirmable. You can check this yourself, fact check it. Turns out those are the most credible. Look at Blue Book. That was a disinfo campaign, and even they were forced to admit that that 1% sliver of most crazy outlandish cases was actually the ones they had to admit in some cases was the most authentic. And what I saw, dude, it was like a kid saying, "Watch me, Ollie." And he like skated past and waited till he was right there to pull his move, to do his kickflip, to show off. I'm at the air show. I'm in the audience. The plane flies. I see it coming, dude, but it's waiting until it gets right in front of the crowd and does the fucking cool ass barrel roll. And it's got shit coming out the back of it. It's blue. It's red. It's, oh fuck, that's the colors of the flag. Jesus, that's amazing. But it's still an airplane. Cool airplane. But it's a fucking airplane, dude. You know? Like this, it just wasn't, man. I don't know what to tell you, bro. Like maybe you're mad about it. Maybe it's demons. Like maybe it's biblical demons. All right, let me see. It's like crazy because now I don't know where because it's not like I'm ignorant to the whole psyop. I'm not like naive, right? I'm not someone that like rushes to believe David Grush or Lou Elizondo as much as I might want to, believe it or not. Like that's bias, and I'm open to admitting that, but I still acknowledge, you know, we don't know for sure. Lots of hearsay. I saw this, I saw that. Okay, whatever. Under oath, that's pretty cool. Legislation, okay, cool. You know, credibility is growing, in my opinion. But yeah, we have yet to see real solid evidence to prove that this isn't like a long-standing disinformation, like elaborate disinformation campaign, perhaps using high technology. You go to like classic, the idea that's conceptually tied to blue beam, you know, projected images. The CIA messed with that. If we take like a community of like religious people, like really intense worshippers of whatever, and you beam a fucking projection of like the Virgin Mary and make them like 50 feet tall in the sky, could you convince them it's a miracle? Then can you, if you can, then like what other miracles can you engineer and you customize it as psyops, right? For a means to an end. Haha, time to invade you. I gotta check out that virgin myself in the sky. You know, you hide the projector as you invade. You land on their beaches. You know, whatever. But then I saw it though, and now I'm all fucking confused. You know, like I was pretty jaded. I was thinking, yeah, man, like you're gonna fall for some disinfo here and there, but as long as you vet and really try your best to like, and just know that it's a hall of mirrors. Know that like many different interests are messing with you, are spinning narratives, you know, that understand the power of narrative warfare. They understand the layout of the cognitive battle space. They get the information war. We're in that's what it is right now. I don't know. And it just all, it's all fucking, you know, tied into each other, I guess. I'm getting really tired now. I don't even remember where I was going with that one. But anyway, that's the testimony. I'll cut this down. I just wanted to say what's up. My dude, that strike got me like 2 weeks without being able to upload or stream or anything. That's crazy. I don't even know what I did. I didn't think it was that crazy. I didn't think I was that bad of a boy, but whatever. Here we are. So I just want to say what's up. Maybe if I get time, I'll cut this down, but just go read it on Substack, you know, if you actually are interested. This is a serious sighting. It was impactful. Like, I was very surprised to see it. It was actually the most amazing thing I ever seen in my life. You know, I don't have like a super exciting life, and I mean that in the best way possible. I'm like super happy. Everything's awesome, you know, but I'm not like living a life of drama, of crisis, of tension. I'm chilling out, reading about financial fraud, baby, biblical demons too sometimes, and whether or not you can pray voices away, or if those voices that person is claiming to hear as he gets ready to shoot up that school is coming from a satellite, or if it truly is a mental illness. I'm trying to figure that out. Oh my God, dude. I don't know what I saw, man, but I saw some shit. Now I'm confused. Where does the PSYOP come in? If there really is something up there. So maybe, like, I guess I feel like I could cross off the list. Does the PSYOP include them not existing at all? A bunch of fabrications built on each other. There truly is nothing up there. Yes, there's UFOs meeting man-made objects that confuse people. Whatever. But it's not that it's not the case. I know what I saw, dude. Like, I know what I saw, and it was like someone went to an alternate upside down bizarro world and took like an object that whatever, dropped it into mine, and I just knew it just wasn't from here. Like, that was from somewhere else. Plain as day. Plain as day. And when I say somewhere else, I understand that that could be really advanced secret tech that's so advanced that it's like magic, but that's also my point. What I'm saying is whoever has this tech has clearly been keeping it a secret for a very long time, and this technology, God knows what you can get off the back of it. What does it affect? What ripples? What sectors of society are we talking? Free energy, you know, typically associated with UFOs. Reliance on fossil fuels. Boom! You want to fight climate change, don't you? You want to reduce the population, watch out for that climate change. Well, give me them bleep blorps, baby. Free energy, right? But you know, that's not what happens. Maybe because they don't exist. But then I fucking saw them though. So they do exist. Like, something exists. And whatever that something is, its function requires perhaps a spiral maneuver, three orbs in tight formation that appear to be plotted and like magnetically tethered, travel silently, fastly, could probably go way faster than what I saw, seemingly without weight, enveloped in fog and mist, perhaps by whatever the propulsion was of them or it. And whatever its function was required a rotational movement on its axis, like around an invisible center, going inward before disappearing. So I'm trying to think of like, okay, that's a human man-made craft. Glenn, the guy down the street, he waves hi to you every Tuesday morning. He has a vacation house up north, real beautiful. Jen showed me photos last week. He works for a special access program. He says he works for the post office. He doesn't, okay? Like, you're gonna tell me that Glenn, like there's some type of craft up there that for whatever reason we have to make sure they fucking spiral and disappear. Like, number one, if we have tech to make things disappear, that right there, okay, aliens, whatever the fuck, I don't care. That's so far beyond anything that it changes everything. Just that by itself, man-made or not. extraterrestrials, ultra-terrestrials, breakaway civilizations, secret South American Nazis. Doesn't matter. Somebody has the technology and it's been secret. How? What else does that affect? I'm pretty confident that what we've been seeing since the 1940s, at least, I'm willing to go earlier, is the same phenomenon. It presents itself in different ways. Whether it's human, whether it's alien, whether it's internet, whatever. Just saying whatever's behind it seems to present itself in different but consistent ways over time. The same maneuvers, the same behaviors. There's, like, Elizondo says it's true, though. It's just he made a fancy kind of list for it, the 5 observables, right? Instantaneous acceleration, the ability to appear and disappear at will, seemingly unaffected by friction, gravity, weightlessness. So obviously, as you see, I saw it appear and disappear, so I guess it did have an observable. A transmedium ability, the ability to go through water, oceans, space, air, whatever, without disturbing the environment around it. If you fly a plane into the ocean, it'll go into the water, but it will rapidly decelerate upon hitting the surface, upon meeting the physical water, and not be going very fast anymore, and will not enter the water untouched, intact. But UFOs are reported to enter them without splashes. Some witnesses, even going back to the 1800s, interestingly, I have news snippets from it. It's over on Patreon. I made a video about it a long time ago, a couple years ago, talking about these objects going into and out of the water and how some of them spread the water. Like, it's kind of interesting. Like Moses, like dropping a bowling ball and it parts the ocean around it, hence no splash. You can kind of see that in the Agua Dia, Puerto Rico video, which I posted on Instagram. I can't pull it up now, it's late. Do I have to pull it up now? I probably should pull it up now, fuck it. Yeah, no, that's you know what it is, dude? It's the right thing to do. It's not that it's like that cool, even though it is pretty fucking cool. It's the right thing to do because this is like a classic video that I wouldn't be being very thorough, I guess, if I didn't pull it up, at least a part of it. Let's see, the AI enhanced one, it's not, there's not much embellishment there, but, which is a good thing. I guess it's not going to come up here. Let's just watch whatever comes up here. I just want the raw video, That's what it's so hard to just find the raw. Here.
You want to give us everything?
Fucking ads, dude. I don't care about your silly movie. Actually. No. Maybe. I don't know. Probably not.
There have been across a very odd, very under the radar release of some videos and documents that I've been trying to get for years. Now, with no explanation, all of a sudden, Customs and Border Patrol has released 10 videos from what looks like forward-looking infrared cameras from different incidents, and an odd 380-some pages of reports, news clippings, and emails about people at CBP talking about UAPs. But there is a lot redacted, so it's hard to understand exactly what's going on. And some of it has to do with agents saying they've seen stuff and being scared of the whole stigma that comes with talking about UAP.
Summary here is it was a Customs and Border Patrol aircraft that captured this FLIR imagery of the UFO that you're about to see. That's basically what he's saying. And it's been on the internet for a while, but I guess it's been officially released in a batch with 4 other videos.
The videos paint a more black and white picture, and at least one of them, this one immediately caught my eye because it's the same video I saw leaked years ago that
exactly, it leaked years ago. Yep, he's got it.
Towards the ocean. Now
so what you can see around this, people say that they see the haze around it. And the lensing effect, if you look at the background, like the lines in the road that you can see in the background, the lines bend as it passes across it, like that gravitational lensing GIF I showed you earlier. The supermassive object bending the light as it crosses and transits in front of it.
We're going to fast forward just a bit towards the ocean because that is when things get weird. Here you see it dip down into the ocean, doesn't seem to lose any speed, then
doesn't seem to lose any speed. It didn't really make a splash, right? And it seems to travel
continues on, then maybe
as if it wasn't actually in the water, but like moving the water around it, right? That's kind of what I'm saying. That's what this felt like, in a way. I know it didn't involve water, but fog around it like it was a pocket in its own pocket, traveling with it around each orb, overlapping. Only visible when it was close and when it was turning. And then it fucking spiraled, dude, and just disappeared. I think that fucker, I think I saw some Star Trek stuff that, I don't know what was behind it, man, but that's the story. That's crazy. It probably sounds so cringe at certain parts, but at least it's true. All the details like location, date, time is over on Substack. Links in the description. Sorry, dude, I did all that writing earlier just because I had to finally get this done. I was tapping away at it for so long. I'm just tired. But of course I had to get this out. I was on a roll. I was like, fuck it, I'll get this out today as well. So whatever. You'll have to take it or leave it. It happened. It's true. It's that. I don't know what to think, man. I'm confused a little bit now. Where does the psyop begin? Dude, I don't know. I'm smiling, but I'm also like actually kind of like, fuck. That's crazy, man. That thing just, it's like Hollywood just disappeared. Time to go. Whoops. Didn't mean for you to see me. I'm out of here. Boink. Hit the fucking cloak. Or maybe it blasted off. Yo, I don't know, man. Human beings, top secret tech. We gotta make a craft that fucking spirals before disappearing. Well, how about this? How about you just make a craft that, like, doesn't spiral around each other before disappearing? That sounds easier. But no. So then you have to ask, okay, so what's the function, the significance of the spiral? The complex maneuver. So complex that, like, it was so mathematical and precise, there's no deviation, it was equidistant, same size, same spacing. Why? Why not just disappear? If that's the function of the spiral. It felt like performative. A car that, like, revs its engine and makes it go pop, 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 pop when it drives past you. But only when it drives past you. Or a plane does a barrel roll in front of the crowd and then corrects itself as it flies back to fucking the base or the hangar or wherever. Hey kid, watch me ollie. The little kid fucking, he skates, but he waits to be right in front of you before he does a kickflip. Then breaks his ankle. His angry mom comes out. She says, I'm going to sue you. I'm going to call the police. The police show up. Hey kid, you got prior? No, I'm just kidding. But, you know, it felt like that. It felt performative. Like a kid was saying, hey, fuck you. This is going to bug you for the rest of your life. Poof. Hey kid, you got work tomorrow? I'm going to reveal myself just to fuck with you. Poof. Hey kid, all those things you know? Look at me now. Poof. All right, now go back to work. You got to be up in a couple hours. How's it go? Wagey, yeah, by KG. Poof. It felt performative, like he was fucking with me. I know it wasn't actually, I don't know, man, but there's no practical use for that. Where was it going? Where did it come from? I should have conducted a traffic stop. Yeah, I hear a lot about the, it's interesting how they come in triangles, you know, going off of what Magda said here in the comments. How you witnessed 3 lights, similar to mine, but they didn't do the triangle thing. But there's 3 of them, right? And any 3 points technically makes a triangle. You can argue. I don't know how spaced out they were in the sky, but it's technically true. You get what I'm saying? But where was it? But they danced around each other, right? That playful idea, the dancing. Trained observe everyone. I don't know what you do or as a professional or whatever. Everyone from the average everyday citizen, non-trained observers, to hardened career, multi-decade career servicemen, pilots, trained observers, lifelong observers, pilots, experts. They also use the same word, like dancing around. And it's funny that they use that word as opposed to some like more technical jargon. if you're a trained observer, right? And yet dancing is just the most apt term for it because just like the pilots, hardened, career-long pilots, trained observers, professionals, men you trust, apparently with your life and the safety of the country, were saying that they were playful. They were dancing around the plane. There's something weird about it. Like it knew, like, I don't fucking know, man. That's crazy. I sound crazy. But it doesn't change the fact of what I saw. Like, it was doing it for a reason. Everything has a reason, sort of, I guess, right? That plane is going somewhere. The helicopter came from somewhere. That person walking their dog, they're about to go around the corner out of your perspective, but they still exist. Object permanence, right? The NPCs, they're not disappearing. Maybe they are, but I'm just kidding. Everything is going somewhere. They came from somewhere. And before they get there, they have to do something. They have to perform a physical act in physical space in order to initiate and achieve what it is they're trying to do. From simply lifting a leg to get to the next stair, you have to say, I'm going to do that, and you do it. Like, I'm sure, I guess there's chaos, but that, you know, it's for some things. But what is the function of spiral, dude? It spiraled and disappeared. I can see the function of disappearing and appearing. The ability to do that is a game changer. You rule the world right there. Kinda. But, like, you get what I'm saying. I mean, that's a game changer. We've all been chasing it. Stealth skin, stealth paint. The big daddy would be literally becoming invisible. I mean, some people who saw the Phoenix Lights, when they looked up, they saw the ripples, like gasoline, like I said, but they didn't see a hardened black object. They saw the stars on the other side and a translucent, transparent object, similar as if you were looking through the stars through like a slightly dirty glass cup. So as they pass, they become a little warped for a second, but otherwise clear. And then you go back to Brazil, where people were getting burned by the chupa, the biters coming from the ocean, getting burned with rays. They levitated above their homes and they made the ceilings become transparent. Some people like fled in cars. They chased the cars down. And if they didn't, like after they burned them or before they burned them, or if maybe they didn't burn them here, but they made the roof of the car transparent, apparently. These are all just one of the dozens of reports that came out of that and was investigated by the military and intelligence, and according to people like Elizondo, said it is real, it happened. And in fairness, that's classical UFO lore. You know, people have always kind of believed that. So anyway, I'm going off on a tangent here. It's late. I gotta go to bed. That's my sighting. If I get time, I'll clip it. I'll just put it together. But really, this is extra if you're actually interested and you want to make a report or post this on Reddit for me or something. Just go to the Substack. You know, that's probably easier for you. If you have the mobile app, Substack mobile app, you can just listen like an audiobook. All right. See you later. I might have saw bleep Orbs. Maybe I saw secret tech. Who knows?